Hello, everyone. My name is Shantae Nicole. I am the founder and CEO of Financial Common Sense, and today we're going to talk about making sense of money. Now, I know I have sense spelled CENTS, but I really mean sense like using your brain. I always like to use the word sense because we're talking about what? We're talking about money today. Let's start with the basics. When you use money, you typically have it stored somewhere. Do you want to store it under your mattress? Do you want to put it in your drawer where your clothes go? No, you want to have your money in a savings account. There are two types of accounts that we're going to talk about today, a checking account and a savings account. Your checking account is a bank account that allows you to make purchases with cash or your debit card or a check, and we'll talk about some of those things later. You also have a savings account, and that's a bank account where money is stored and saved, and you usually earn interest. Interest is where a bank gives you a percentage of money for storing your money in their bank. Now, most banks will allow you to open your account online or over the phone. A long, long time ago, you used to have to go inside the bank to open an account, but now they make it easy for you. A check is a written document that tells the bank how much to pay from your bank account to a specific person or business or organization. So let's just say someone wrote you a check for your birthday for $20. When you take your check to your bank, you are telling them, take this money from the account of the person who wrote me this check. That means it's just like cash, but they wrote it on a written document to tell the bank how much to pay you. So when you go to a store and write a check, you're telling the bank, pay this store this amount of money from my bank account. Get it? I hope that wasn't confusing. Now, a check registry is very, very important. Typically, when you order checks, they will give you a registry for free. This is where you keep track of your spending. If you don't keep track of your spending from your bank account, it's very, very easy to overspend or try to use money that you don't have. So with a bank registry, you will list your balance. Your balance is how much you have in your account at that time. When you spend, you are taking money from your checking account. You can spend using cash or a debit card or a check, which we just discussed. Once you spend, you're going to write how much you spent on your registry, and you're going to minus that or subtract it from your balance. This is going to show you how much you have left over. It's really, really critical to make sure you're always staying on top of the spending plan that you set for yourself. Again, this is important because you don't want to overspend. This is an example of what a registry looks like. You write your deductions on the white line. Once you subtract, you write the balance on the gray line. You do this all the way down until you get to the bottom, and then you just start over on the next page. Every time you spend, you subtract and write the balance. Anytime you get money, you write that down and you add to get a new balance. Again, this is very, very important to make sure that you know how much money you're dealing with in your bank account. Imagine if you just spent your money, you wrote checks, you swiped your debit card, and you never kept up with how much money you have left over. And one day you go to the store and try to use your card, and they say, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, sir. Your transaction was declined. That means that it did not go through because what happened? You spent too much money and you didn't keep track, and now you don't have enough to make that purchase. And you don't want to be embarrassed in the store, do you? You want to make sure you're always keeping track of your spending and your budgeting. What is a budget plan and spending plan? It's tracking your income and expenses over a set period of time. So if you do have a job where you're earning income, you want to list your monthly income. Then you want to list all of the expenses you have to pay throughout the month. That could be rent, that could be your electric bill, that could be your gas, that could be paying for your car or maybe insurance. So you write all of your monthly expenses and then you track your spending. That will let you know out of your income how much money that you have left. You also want to make sure that you set priorities and make changes as needed to stay on budget. Let's just say you have a cell phone. Your cell phone costs $100 a month, but maybe you want to start saving a little bit of money. So you say, hey, T-Mobile, hey Sprint, hey Verizon, do you have a better plan for me to save money? And they say, yes, we have this new plan that's only $60. Now look how much you have left, $40. And what's the proper thing to do when you have money left over? Should you spend it? You can if you want to, but putting it in a savings account is even better. Let's talk about the difference between wants and needs. A need is something that you cannot live without, and a want is something that you would like, but you can live without. Can you live without water? No. Can you live without food? No. But can you live without Chipotle? I think you can. Can you live without Chick-fil-A? I think you can. So although we need food, we want Chipotle and we want Chick-fil-A and we want pizza from Pizza Hut. You can't live without shelter, meaning a home. You can't live without clothes. Can you live without expensive clothes? I think we can. And you can't live without medical care. But that doesn't mean you should not be able to buy things that you want. It's just a matter of making sure that you're tracking your spending so that you don't overspend. You want to make sure that you have enough money left over to take care of the things that are important. If you get money and you spend it all on candy and you spend it all on video games or expensive jewelry, do you have enough money to buy food that you need? Do you have enough money to buy the clothes that you need? Perhaps you don't have enough money to pay for the home that you live in. So we want to make sure that we understand the difference between wants and needs and know that it's okay to buy what you want, but we want to make sure that we're very, very careful about how we spend. Again, needs are something that a person must have or must do to survive. We cannot live without it. A want is a desire to possess or do something. The things that make us happy and make life more enjoyable. You could live without them if you had to. You need to eat food, but you want to eat out rather than at home. We talked about that. You need a place to live, but you want a video game to play in your room. You need clothing to wear, but you want designer apparel, that very expensive clothing. It's okay to have wants, but we want to make sure that we're tracking our spending and our budget plan. Save, 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 save. This is very, very critical. Let me share a story with you. When I was 16 years old, I had a job as a babysitter. And I watched 3 children and I got $150 every Friday. As a 16-year-old, was I thinking about saving? Absolutely not. So what do you think Shantae did every Friday when she got paid? She ran to the mall. Now, did I physically run to the mall? No, but I wanted to because I was so excited about spending my $150, spending $150 from my job. So every Friday I went to the mall. I walked in the clothing store and I bought clothes and I bought shoes. And the next Friday, I bought clothes and I bought shoes. And the next Friday, I did the same thing over and over. Now listen, having clothes is critical. You need that to survive. But did I need to buy clothes every weekend? No, I didn't. So guess what happened at the end of the summer? I worked for 9 weeks. So what I did was I took $150 and multiply that by 9. I could have had $1,350 at the end of the summer. But how much did Miss Shantae have at the end of the summer? $0. No one taught me the importance of saving. No one taught me the importance of understanding the difference between a want and a need. I could have had $1,350 in my bank account and maybe purchasing a car that I could have used to get to school. All of my friends had cars. They were driving to school, driving home, driving to stores. And guess what I had to do? Ask them for a ride. Can you take me to the store? Can you drop me off at home? I had no car. I had no money, but I had a whole lot of clothes. So that was a very, very hard lesson that I had to learn. But I'm glad I learned it at 16 and I can start applying what I'm learning at this age. And so I want you guys to know that it's very important to save. If you get money for your birthday or money from your job, it's okay to buy what you want, but you should always pay yourself first. What do I mean by pay yourself? Put money in the bank for you, for your own benefit before you spend on other things that we may want but not need. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more information on how to make sense of money. I am Shantae Nicole. Bye.